I need to refit the ship to a loadout that isn't utter garbage. That would be nice, wouldn't it? It's like, get rid of this gosh darn targeting computer. It's never helped anybody, especially Jedi. Jedi don't need targeting computers.
No, Sky City's on.
Oh yeah, I'm a heavy man.
No cup of tea yet.
Gotta keep telling myself that, because it's not true.
Go take a nap.
I want the music to be quiet, because now that there's new ones, I don't want to get confused. Let me be quiet, 100. Weapon sounds are way too loud. Kill them. There we are. It's gonna be soft volume. That way, people might have a chance of hell of hearing Renz. Wahaha. Yeah, you'll just have to suffer quietly. Oh, suffer loudly. No one can hear you.
No. Can you hear me, actually?
Yeah. My stream, all my streams have had Discord. Did you not notice that?
Oh, okay.
Have you not noticed this, Renzo? You've watched, like, a lot of the stream recordings I have.
I just thought it was TeamSpeak or something. I don't
Now,
know.
TeamSpeak! TeamSpeak's only used by Russians who play Star Conflict. Well, just Russians in general. They don't have to be playing StarCon. That part was
Hello,
gamist.
Gunman Stream. Welcome to HunterNet. Population 2.
Population 2. Hey, that's, this tied with Battlescape, actually. The ship feels like it's not moving how I expect it to. It might just be, the game's panicking. I think I played too much Battlescape. I can't aim in HunterNet. Too much Battleskip. Too much Corvettism, right? I used the Corvette a lot yesterday, though. Oh yeah, did you like the Corvette in Battleskip, Renzo?
It was cool.
Yeah. You like how it has a repair field and a rearming field, even though I removed the rearming field? Because it's not as useful.
Is it actually?
Yeah. In like a 1 kilometer radius, it uses them nano machines to repair and rearm allied craft. But the rearming doesn't work on yourself, but the repairing does, which is a mystery. It's like you can infinitely resupply any ship the same size as you or smaller, but you can't give yourself ammo. It's really weird. It doesn't make any sense at all. Oh, I think it's just laggy. What server did we pick?
Dallas. This is supposed to be the best one.
Yeah, okay. I think it's just my internet's having a panic attack.
Oh, you think your internet's having a attack?
And the easy way to check. What does performance monitors say? We're going between good and okay half the time. We don't have the most stable ping. I think it's just sometimes it hates OBS, I think, is what happens. Possibly having the graphics on high. I'm not gonna keep them on low, but I want to see if that fixes it. It only does like the frame rate, so that's not work. Things are just a little jittery. It's basically, it's so easy to tell with the GAT, because when you're laggy, the GAT becomes a burst GAT instead of a sustained GAT.
Oh, for
sure.
me, it's the input lag. So, if I strafe in one direction, I strafe that direction for the entire.
Oh, Daze is almost done with his trippo. I mean, he could play Hunter where he is, because his phone is possibly better than his PC at computational power, so if he played HunterNet on his phone, it'd be a superior experience to playing it on his PC.
How can you say that?
Possibly. You should tell him to download HunterNet on his phone.
He's probably watching your Twitch right now.
No, he's not.
It'd be hilarious.
Because no one's watching the Twitch right now.
Sad times.
Really sad. It seems I have a lot of people that like watching replays, so... That means I might link the YouTube just because I put everything there.
Might as well.
I'll probably do that later. The only links I have there are for donating to Drone and HunterNets. Not Battlescape, though, because I don't think they have a donation thing. You can just buy the game, basically. It's like, that's not what I'm doing. Donations only.
Can you not?
Not what?
Not you.
I'm not shooting at a Renzo right now.
Oh, okay.
You're getting boiled by an AI. You're getting revenge for how you boiled all my friends yesterday. Not Carmo. Actually, Carmo, how bullied were you by Renzo on HunterNet? Were you very bullied or not bullied?
Is Karma dead? Oh, Karma's dead.
Carmo, are you dead? I think he died. I think Carmo died. Really. He died before he was murdered. You could also try changing the map and see what that do.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
You'll like this map.
Yeah, alright. It's less laggy. Even for the network.
It's not trying to catch up in frames.
And then I guess we can do the Tiz map?
Question mark? Are you sure?
Fernando allowed me to stream it last playtest, but I think we better not. Just to be sure.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, something just took out 90% of my health. I don't appreciate it.
I would... Oh yeah, Carmo is dead. He's not even in the voice call, actually. I just looked over. Carmo really died. Wow, what did you do to get him to leave?
I think it is. Is he not?
Doggo.
Can you hear that? Oh god. This is bad.
Yeah. So your dog, the dog's a lot louder than you are, Renzo.
That's a good thing.
That's not a good thing. Why is your mic facing your dog, but not you? That's what that means.
Dogs. Rural.
I stole your boom.
You monster.
Yeah, it's because you're not using heavy. You need to use heavy.
The light need other.
Yeah, light is like the tryhard craft. It's not that it's the best, it's just what tryhards use. The heavy is probably the best, but tryhards don't typically use it. It's kind of like that one strategy game you were talking about. It's like, the tryhards don't use the best stuff, they just use, like, a specific gear, essentially.
And the space too. Yeah, because it's like they don't like the faction that allows you to nuke entire star systems. I mean, it's like it's the best one though. The funny thing about that faction is it's easily counterable too, because there's a faction that hacked entire nations, so essentially you can make them pacifist just by hacking.
Alright, maybe now I can hear you more clearly.
I'll let you change.
The game audio made it even lower. And it already was. I'm probably ridiculously loud. Speak real quick, Renzo.
Do you really want me to try heavy?
Okay, so balance. Okay, so for this stream only, I changed the balancing to be like this, so that while I'm louder, I'm not like 3 times your volume, which is probably what it was before, I assume. I don't have anyone to verify it, so if the replay sucks, well, that's why I don't have anyone to tell me if the audio is garbage or not, so. If it's a garbage stream replay, that's probably why.
Do you want me to switch to heavy?
Yeah. Yeah, you need to learn heavy, mate. That's what we're doing the heavy wing.
I know how to use heavy, I just hate heavy.
Well, then you need to want to use it more, so that you like it. You need to get to know it better. Oh, I got hit by a Tism. I don't know where the Tism went.
Oh, for God's sake, I got hit by one stray shot.
It was a bomber Tism, I think. Oh, there's another bomb.
Oh, hey, look. A light fighter that's using my loadout.
It stole your idea.
Mm-hmm.
Plagiarism.
Funnily enough, it's better at dodging than I am.
Wait, when AI becomes sentient, does that mean we can accuse him for plagiarism? I think it does.
Of course.
Yeah. It's like all
What
neural
weapons
networks are plagiarism. They steal data that humans made to make their own stuff.
What weapons do you want me to use?
Whatever you want. You just need to use the heavy. I don't care about guns. You just need to use the heavy because we want to be the heavy wing. We want to be unique and special. Not special.
Can you do your Lord Shack suppression game?
Oh yeah. And Fernando said that the Anon one was E4. What do you think, Renzo?
Are you sure? Doesn't sound like E4.
I think he's not good enough, basically, still. That's what I still think. He's good at flying, but I don't think he's good enough to be E4. The problem is E4 wins against me 70% of the time in a 1v1, whereas he loses like 90% of the time in a 1v1. So I'm just like, there's no way he's E4, he's not good enough.
And does E4 even play a lot of ED?
Like, no, E4 plays mostly this game, actually. He's a checkers, not checkers, chess nerd. We call him a checkers nerd because it pisses him off. Chess nerd. It's like, is 1D chess just what checkers is?
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
It's like, it's just a line.
Why have a jack of all trades ship when you can just have one that's dedicated for the build?
Because that means you don't need to switch your ship out for a different mission. That's why multi-role aircraft exists. I carry all the specialized aircraft and have like 20 of each role when we can have 80 multi-purpose aircraft, so that way we always have 80 aircraft ready for every possible role. That's what the Navy figured out pretty quick. It's like, if we have multi-role aircraft that are just like good, not great, just good at their job, we can have like 4 times the aircraft for any kind of mission, essentially.
Well,
Which is very
if they're
important when you're on an
cost-effective.
aircraft carrier with limited aircraft capacity.
If they're cost effective,
But-
sure. Because like you don't want to spend so much on something that's supposed to do all this type of stuff if it's expensive as fuck to replicate, right?
Oh, and the U.S. military doesn't care. Did you see like how expensive our planes are? Did you see the F-21?
Yeah.
It costs like $10 billion per aircraft. And it's like maybe 10% more effective than the F-18. And then I think there's now F-25s or something. I haven't kept up with aircraft. I find it annoying. Because F-21s I'm pretty sure are already out of date. And those were like a marginal improvement over F-18s. Despite being like 3 times the price.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It's like they just need to make cheap aircraft that are like remote controlled, so that way they can be cheap and we're not risking people's lives. But they're cheap so that we don't bankrupt the country at the same time. It's like, what's the point of like having 10% more combat effectiveness when we could just have like get rid of the risk of human casualties entirely, have a worse aircraft but have like 10 times as many of them for the same crew.
What's that game?
I like that idea more. I bet aircraft carriers in the future, they might consider making them basically drone hubs where you remotely control the aircraft that launch from the carrier. From the pilots are just inside the carrier itself, remote controlling the aircraft. That might be a thing that happens. That'd be pretty cool. Like a futuristic aircraft carrier would probably do something like that.
I thought. Oh right. Did you say aircraft carriers are valid now? Because. Or is
They
it
are.
because
They've been valid. They're valid. They're still valid
well,
now.
planes can be shot down. So it's like, how
like-
valid are they?
They're very valid because the aircraft from the aircraft carrier can go 3,000 miles away from the aircraft carrier and bomb an orphan. That's why they're relevant. That's their purpose. And they still do that purpose very well. It's like a cruiser can only bomb an orphan with like 4 missiles that it has, and then it has to go back to port to rearm.
Well, I guess it depends on how good the enemy flak is then.
Well, Flak can't shoot down modern planes at all. Flak is like absolute garbage nowadays.
Well, anti-air.
Yeah, it'd be SAMs.
Yeah.
I mean, most SAMs can't realistically shoot down an aircraft if they're flying really high. There's just no way you can detect it, lock a missile, launch the missile, and have the missile hit before the aircraft is already out of range, basically. And even if the aircraft isn't out of range, the pilot will probably find a way to avoid the missile anyway. More than likely. Especially if they're an American pilot. With the fancy F-21, it's like, well, at least the F-21 I don't think has any chance of hell of ever getting hit by a missile as long as the crew are competent, basically. The 2 people in the plane. There's probably
What
no
would
chance.
you ideally have to guard the aircraft carriers then?
Aircraft carriers. Well, I mean, I would like to have a modern battleship as one of the ships there. Probably 2 that are like significantly smaller than like the carrier. So, you know, the carrier's the flagship. It has 2 battleships which guard it from, you know, any shenanigans on the surface, as well as they can get used to, you know, short bombardment. Because battleships fire very cheap ammo. A battleship shelling like a land installation, that's like phenomenally cheap. Versus a cruiser bombarding it with missiles is very expensive. But you would have a lot of cruisers, though. Like 4 cruisers probably in the fleet. And
Yeah.
because there's so many, like, you know, supporting vessels, a lot of them would probably be flight deck. type ships where they have like capacity for like 5 aircraft probably, so that they're contributing to like the air power a little bit instead of just being they have no air power. They're only there to be escorts. It's like they could definitely have helipads on them because helipads like oh yeah those are super easy to put on any type ship. Like any ship can have capacity for helicopters. There's no excuse to not have capacity for some kind of helicopter. Especially during like the Cold War of anti-submarine warfare, like if a destroyer didn't have space for one anti-submarine helicopter, it was a pile of garbage, basically. So that's like the easiest way to like improve its effectiveness against submarines. Just have one helipad that can just keep an anti-submarine helicopter. Oh no!
Oh, nice.
It wasn't fixed. Fernando lied.
What
He said he
was it?
fixed it. I got errored out by the server. He lied.
Oh,
It
how
stopped
did
the
you get
refit.
logged out?
Okay.
I didn't.
Because I'm stroming, man.
I guess you didn't take OBS into account then.
Yeah. Well, if we'll keep playing it, and then if you get kicked out at some point, then we'll know that it's not been fixed. Maybe the server just kicks the person that's the most drag on the resources, which would be me because I'm streaming. You don't have enough.
Probably.
Your internet isn't good enough to strain the server, basically. So. Because I'm also playing in higher settings. Because when you play in higher settings, the server has to do a little bit more work as well. Because your game can't predict as well, which means the server has to do more work to correct your game to being, you know, correct instead of wrong. Like how all peer-to-peer games are, where it's like your peer-to-peer game is technically wrong compared to like someone else's game, which is why you have weirdness. It's like peer-to-peer usually sucks, with like especially with high pings, because it's like at that point the two people are playing in like different universes.
What happens if I do that? Yeah, you should be good.
Yeah,
It's a blip, that's all.
it doesn't do anything. It basically doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I suggested to Fernando like a wormhole map. The type of map where you're like in the wormhole.
Basically, a 100net version of teleporters, like Halo has. We have the
Well,
porters.
there's no new flight model. Like, I'm not suggesting an entirely new flight model.
Oh, you
or
mean
anything
like
of the sort.
Battlestar Galactica, where you have the mission in the wormhole? You want that, right? That's what you want.
No. It's kind of like you're about to go in a wormhole, but you see the mouth, you see the opening above you, because you're already halfway in it, right? So, or like a black hole, I guess. You could use a black hole as
Wormholes make
inspiration.
more sense.
Yeah,
Black
black
hole.
holes are like you're not
just
supposed to exist by the time you reach inside. But I was thinking a wormhole rather than just deep space. Because with deep space, it's not at all interesting to look at. Whereas with a wormhole,
I kind of like this, honestly. I
in
like
terms
the
of
I like
variety,
having
like, we can
the
keep this. We're definitely gonna keep this map. But if we want another map that's like this, where it's like
yeah.
there's not a huge emphasis on up and down.
Like whenever
we can
we're
have a-
doing our ladder matches, I'm freaking suggesting this map every single time. It's the best map.
I used
Yeah, the game runs so much better on this map, it makes me more accurate, basically, so... Because I can predict better, because the movement's a lot smoother.
I don't know. I like my asteroids.
Like, I literally get an advantage on this map. Yeah, they like their stroids. Then we want the red planet, because the less battleships make it run slightly more stably. So... If they want to play on asteroids, we're gonna suggest the red planet over the blue planet for the map. Or
And the
maybe
red
maybe
planet
we should suggest a
easy to
shipyard
look
though
at.
to do the ladder match on. What do you think?
Do you want to humiliate them? Because if so, then that's what the
Oh
third
no,
map
I,
would be
I
for.
figured you'd like that map more.
Well, yeah, I know, but we'd completely
Exactly.
annihilate
We
anyone.
want to play on the map where we have the advantage. That's the whole point. Like, I'm pretty good on that map.
You're too good at all the maps, really. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
that's a lie. You're lying. Oh, I have one person. Oh, if you want to yell at me at the volume being bad because Renzo refuses to make his mic even a little bit louder,
This
so
is
I've had
as
to...
loud as it can go. Leave me alone.
I doubt it's as loud as it will go.
Yeah, look, I maxed the volume.
Your
Here,
dog
here,
in the
okay.
background
Can
is
you hear me
louder
now?
than you are, talking directly into the mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's fine. It's fine, don't worry
Okay,
about it.
see?
I've done enough work to have it be bearable.
You mean
It's
you
very
got tired
quiet
of
hiding
doing
that.
it and just gave up?
I bet if you're watching, if you want to watch this replay, actually, Ren, you'll probably notice you get louder over the course of it, and everything else getting quieter at the same time as I slowly change it.
I'm probably not gonna rewatch just because it has my voice on it.
Oh yeah, every time I'm like going to my Twitch channel, I hear my voice, I like have an existential crisis essentially. I'm just like, oh no, I said that. Oh my goodness, I don't even remember what this happening. Alright, so I think Arkin earlier wanted to do the playtest, but I guess something came up because he left suddenly. Like, he could have lost power, that's possible.
What else? Jesus Christ, we keep
What?
complaining. Oh, where's everybody else? And it's like we have playtests. And they're like, okay.
Oh, this is like the ratty playtest because it's me hosting. Aha. But it's like I told you, it's like most people just want to watch the game, right? They want to watch it. Which is more than what you could say for your friends that are addicted to Elite and Star Citizen, so.
Yeah, I don't. They're like the.
Yeah, they're...
I don't know.
Like, you remember
No,
what I
don't-
said, that I think a lot of people who play Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen are scared to find a game that's better? To a point. Because if you find a game that's better, and you know it's better, that means whatever time investment you have for Elite or Star Citizen, you can construe it as you've wasted that, and I don't think people want that to happen.
That sounds like every MMO game ever.
That is every MMO. That's
I tried
why...
talking to people who stream D2 daily. I was like, D2's not that great of a game, right? But they'll endlessly defend
I think it's marginally better than the first one. Because it has, like, double the
Regardless,
vehicles,
it's
so, you
kinda-
know, it's
I don't know.
marginally better.
You just spend so much time trying to get all that loot, and then what? They have another DLC which is just basically reskins of the same loot. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of similar to Borderlands. Like, Borderlands is way more... And it's...
Well,
And you don't need to be
Borderlands actually,
being competitive. You're not required to be competitive in Borderlands, although they kind of ruined that with like updating the mayhem system, which I was very upset with. Was how they locked
okay.
certain legendaries to really high mayhem levels. It's like what
Oh,
Carmu
really?
said. It's like Carmu doesn't even want to play on like Mayhem 1 basically. He has no desire to. It's just like, well, it's a shame though, because before it didn't matter. You just had lower loot chances, but you could theoretically get every gun in the game. Now that's not possible. You have to play on the 6th level or higher to have a chance at getting every gun in the game. Instead of just playing on the lowest difficulty, it's like, yeah, you're not going to get the guns as quickly, but you can still get them all. Like, that's what I thought was a little silly. And I know some casual players care about, like, you know, their gun stats. Like, they want to have the best guns. It's like, well, you have to play the higher difficulties now to get the best guns. Which I thought was also a pretty strange decision. I mean, I like it. But I just figured it's like, it's kind of lame, though. It's like...
I've been seeing these two AI fight with like less than 5% health, and it's actually triggering me because one of them flies just like me.
It doesn't. The AI just react to you, though. They fly all smooth-like. Very schmoove.
Whee!
Alright, I'm guessing the audio call is fine. Because I don't have angry people breaking down my house.
People comment on your streams?
Oh,
Wow.
a little bit.
Mr. Popular much? Jesus.
No. I'm not very popular. It'd be funny if it was like Karma watching because he hates Twitch. It'd be very ironic. Also, is there a weapon you want to use for the 2v2s, though?
For the 2v2?
Yeah, is there a particular weapon you want to use, like Gimbal gun only or something? If we did Gimbal guns only on the shipyard, how angry do you think people would get if we did it in heavies, too?
If we had gimbals only. Wait, hang on. Let me switch to that.
Like, how angry do you think we'd make people that had to fight us? Gimbaled only as well as having, you know, SRMs and LRMs. You'd have SRMs, you'd have LRMs, I'd probably take SRM. It's like the most.
Oh yeah, you take the SRM.
Yeah, because I like the SRM a lot. So I wouldn't use the SRM to do damage. I just make sure one of them was always in the air so that it irritates somebody.
Yeah, it's a harassment tactic. It's not a valid DPS. Well,
But
it could be a valid DPS.
It can be if you surprise somebody.
It can be if you're up against someone who's just bad at flying, really.
Wow. And who would that be?
Wait, GGN and okay, I already have LRM on, so
Yeah.
here we go.
It's like, do we want to go for this build?
Oh, this is much better. Oh yes.
Oh, you like that in the heavy, actually.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh yes, look at this. Look at this.
I think we figured out the loadout now.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Right.
Can
So
you imagine how mad Voxel will be?
Then I need SRM. And then I need to fly away a little bit. And rebind the SRM to something that I would actually use. I think I
Oh my
have
God, it
QE
just
open.
Red's bomber armor.
So... Key maps, yes, that's what I want. So, fire weapon 2. I think Q isn't being used for anything. Because Q is a good key to hop to just to launch an SRM. That's perfectly fine. That's
really?
reasonable.
You don't use default key bindings?
No. I have roll on my mouse buttons. Like the two extra ones I have.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I could never.
It's like mouse 3 and mouse 4 are both for roll. And then E is not used for anything right now.
Yeah, that's amazing. Especially when we gang up on something. Because when we gang up on something, there's literally no place to hide.
Yeah, they have an LRM, an SRM, and 2 gimbal guns to avoid. It's like 4 different auto-tracking weapons they have to deal.
Oh my god. Look at this! Look at this! If only we had people to play against.
Oh no. You could, like, yell at Fernando, maybe.
Oh, hang on, let me do that then.
It'd be pretty easy for me to tab out. And, like, yell at somebody.
Looking for me.
Oh, you could ping... I don't think anyone's an LFP that's online right now.
No, no one is.
And no one's ever looking for a game.
There
Oh
we
yeah,
go.
and you can't shoot
That's-
your own missiles down anymore.
No, that's the best part about LRMs, rockets in general, and GGN. Goo gun. Oh,
Yep, goo nozzle. And I can also just decide, I just want to spam SRMs, actually. I always have that option, too. I don't even have to
yeah,
use the
these
gimbal.
are the perfect guns for anybody who blacks out. So Fernando, basically.
Man. Better hope he's not the person who's watching. He might... Actually, he said that he can't code and listen to something at the same time. Even though he said he listens to Space Game Junkie all the time. I'm not sure how this works logistically. I'm confused with this logistics, basically. Yeah, did you see the
Yeah.
SRMs that were swarming?
Yeah, that was you.
I was just spamming SRMs, basically.
That's amazing.
It might be better off if I use, like, a heavy cannon or something over the gimbal, but... You definitely would be cool using gimbal. I just want to also be using gimbal, just because it's funny. I think it's more effective for me to use, like, any other gun.
Talk about crossfire. Look at this. And the best part is they're actually perfect for close range.
Yeah, we have the morale damage build. Especially if you can play on the shipyard, too. If they agree. Because for me, my votes is number 1, shipyard, number 2, the empty map, number 3, red planet, and number 4 is the blue planet. That's like my votes for map.
The blue map last,
Yes.
basically?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Same here.
Because, like, the red map's just better because it performs better, but it's the same map.
It performs better and it's kind of easier to look at because it's red.
Oh, I think the
Right.
blue one's easier to look at, but because there's double the battleships, it doesn't.
For me, it's not so hard on the eyes, whereas with blue, it's kind of like, it's a bit bright. For me. And I think I'm so used to seeing the blue map because of potato mode. So.
Oh, I was on max speed for a while. I was wondering why the ship wasn't controlling super well. I was like, seems a little hard to aim this gimbal gun from what I remember. Oh, the ship isn't refitted correctly, and now a heavy is suddenly easier to keep track of than a bomber just was.
Oh, hell yeah.
So,
Yeah, let me rejoin. I'm gonna change my call sign.
I mean, I could use ROC instead of gimbal gun. That would be pretty cancer. You think that's better or about the same?
To do what?
To do ROC instead of gimbal.
Um,
That's kind of a
Do you
that's a
have just
little bit of a
one?
meme.
you have just one.
Yeah, just one ROC, but I'll have the SRMs too.
I mean, kind of go for it, I guess, because
Let me equip it.
wait. So what's your full loadout now?
It'll be
Oh.
ROC, SRM, and hull.
Yeah, I don't have hull. I have boost and
I have hull.
LRM because I want to get out as fast as possible. Vauxhall loves to chase, so but he's not the best at aiming.
I think I can use ROC. You want to like fight against
using
each
rock
other?
and SRM. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. There they go. They're after you. They want your blood.
Now, if I was in a bomber, I'd be screwed. It'd
You
be
want to have
hilarious
a
if you
fight
could-
to see how cancer the builds are against each other?
Yeah, actually, let's do it.
Alright, so...
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
You're gonna be 4K or 1? Oh, we're starting. Never
Yeah,
mind.
let's just do it now. It's like... I feel like the gimbal gun's better than ROC. You're gonna shoot down all my rockets.
Well, I don't know. No one flies like me, so it's much easier for me to get close.
Oh, that one was very close.
I should have
Ow.
used
itself.
heat sink, but oh well.
Got hit by 4 SRMs at the same time. I watched
Yeah,
that.
you did. It was hilarious. I have no chance if I'm in a bomber. I honestly don't. I would have been dead by now.
Yeah, so that means you like heavy? Oh my god. This man likes heavy. I thought he hated heavy.
I still don't like heavy.
Wow, how do you still not like heavy? What's wrong with it? Oh, SRM's hit a gimbal gun.
Ugh.
The rocket got you. Yeah, so did that feel
Yeah.
pretty cancerous? It's like, it's just all the zoning that happens is like, you have to be careful where you fly to, because you get hit more from random crap than the actual.
Well, you get hit more from the rear than you would at the front. So technically,
So,
it's
we'll do
it's
this
still
build
very
then.
valid because you could just make the enemy forget about.
So I'll use ROC, and you'll use gimbal gun.
Yeah.
And, so I'm ROC SRM, you're gimbal gun LRM.
Yeah. And I've got a boost setup, so I'm harder to hit or predict.
You fly slightly differently, basically, so... If someone's
I just
switching
fly.
between our ships, even though we're both heavy, we fly slightly differently because you have the boost.
Yeah.
So that's very confusing, probably.
Yeah, this is basically just war games as a game. I'll probably do that thing where Fernando still thinks I don't know how to use org chat.
Yeah. He never found out. Even after that duel was over, he didn't figure it out. It was all...
I think Boxall doesn't even know either.
Boxall... I don't think he knows. Yeah, that's a good assumption. Getting hit by a bunch of SRMs, which proves I don't actually know him. I think part of the reason is I can't hear him as well, because, you know, the game is so quiet. Usually use audio to figure out where the SRM actually is.
SRMs are kind of hard to hear when they're coming, because by the time you hear the alarm, you already got hit, essentially.
Well, I'm talking about the actual sound of the missile. Yeah,
But with the LRMs,
the ocean
so
sound.
fast that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I just got by like 12, so. Took a hit or 12 on the way getting you. RSC is not really that high DPS even. I hit a bomber
No,
like
but it's
10 times in a row, and it's like the damage was not good. This was
enough
like
to scare people, honestly.
Yeah, like RSC is actually bad. Like Plasma does like twice the DPS, and it's easier to hit with too.
Oh, this is great. This is great. When I'm like a 45-degree angle from the forward sector, it's much easier to hit. Because by the time they turn to escape.
Vanish. Yeah, good job.
The
Esther.
Gimbal's already figured out where they're headed towards, because there's not many places you can go.
Alright, so. On a refit to orange goo. Which is plasma. Just have a little bit of fun. Just like to see the DPS difference. I don't know, usually have the AI. The AI like doing big, wide swinging turns and it like throws the aiming. It's like, why are you
Just
maneuvering like this? It's not how players dodge at all.
I do. It's weird how many people fall for the barrel roll trick, and it's really not that hard.
Barrel,
to-
barrel, barrel.
Yeah, because they don't expect me when I do it.
I like how good circle dodging. Just move in circles, they won't hit you. Circles.
I kind of feel bad now that we've chosen all this, and at the same time I don't.
You don't. Well, they're doing sweaty try-hard builds, so
They're
We're
doing
doing-
Vol and
we're doing full
HVC, right?
morale damage. You want to break their spirits, not just their ships. That's way more effective for staying on top. If we demoralize the enemy.
Oh yeah, my turning's basically like a light fighter without boost. Not bad.
Fortunately, I'm not as good with the plasma. Sad.
You're not?
Oh, well, relative to Gat, but I've been using Gat a lot, so I'm pretty good with Gat.
Oh, this is perfect because I like close range, and Voxel does.
Voxel doesn't like a lot of things.
Yeah, he's our main art director, and then he doesn't.
He has refined taste in Starship Combat. That was like the complete wrong thing against that AI. Sent me like 20. Wonder when Brian will show back up. At some time, because he works for the Army of the United States as an E1. The lowest rank you could possibly be while being enlisted. Which is great, because enlisted already, it's like you're just part of the army. Like, at least if you're an
Yeah, no
officer,
time to
you
do
by
videos.
default get like priority treatment basically. Because you're an officer. But like being an E1 is just like, oh my gosh. Ships being into enemy ship.
Oh sweet. Oh, this is perfect.
That missile came out of nowhere. I swear. That might have been my own missile. I'm not even sure if that was an enemy SRM. That could have been mine.
Yeah, if I can hit Star Step 3 times with LRMs, then I can definitely hit a bomber from 2 kilometers. It's gonna be
Stars.
fun. Cause I love that stream from either side. because you can easily just see my LRMs hit star step 3 times in a row. It's because they mainly forget I exist after a while. Because I remember when I was rewatching it, there was a time where I did nothing because I just wanted to wait, and then all you could hear was Fernando asking, "Where's Lorenzo?"
You just use me as bait, basically.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that gun. He does a lot of damage. You might want to take care of that. Even you just like get to do whatever you want. You have free reign to do whatever in the world you want to.
Well, yeah, that's the best part because since you like to do close range, they don't have many options to move.
I'll be aggressive even though I don't like fighting 2 people at the same time. But I'll do it if I have to. I'll
You
just
said
be
you
upset.
perform well under pressure anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not like
It's like I do doing well in a 2v1 and actually enjoying it are 2 completely different things. It's like you have players like Boxall that hate it and don't do well in it. I don't know anyone who enjoys 2v1s. Sucks at it. Oh, I got kicked out. Did you get kicked out?
No.
Alright, I'll tell Fernando we think it might be streaming related. Well, for like thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell him that.